Hey, my name is Beb. I have made, at time of writing, 17 videos this year, and that's fucking insane. I had the idea for the original Year of Mal project somewhat improvisationally, which you might be able to tell pretty easily, and I didn't really think too deeply about what exactly I was signing up for. I also had the time to make a few more experimental videos, which was honestly pretty nice because who else is going to crash out about fake Wizard Ball if not me? Playing with the format and the writing and sharpening how I express myself has been a legitimately fun and enlightening journey. However, that's not why we're here. So I'm gonna shut the fuck up. Let's tier list some shit. Unless your skull is still soft, I'm gonna boldly assume you've seen a tier list before, so I'm just gonna rattle off the tiers and then we're gonna jump in. We got new favorite, great time, fun but flawed, frustrating, and death first for the games for which I would rather prefer death to a second playthrough. I'm going to tackle these in whatever order I feel like. Scripted Bep has fallen, unscripted Bep is ascendant. Alright, so I don't really have a plan for what order I'm going to tackle these in. This is going to be largely improvisational, and honestly, I don't give a shit. If I had to complete the game achievement-wise, I'm just going to leave that in because that's part of my experience with it. If you have issue with that, I don't actually give a fuck. What are we gonna start with? I guess let's tackle some Tomb Raider. Tomb Raider 1 is frustrating. I had a bad time with this. The controls don't really improve that much. If you have the thought in your head that a lot of the Tomb Raider is gonna land like down in these bottom three, you're correct. You have been paying attention, and I'm sorry that you've been doing that because it means I've been in your brain cavity more than I probably should. What's next? Let's do Blood Omen 2. This is fun but flawed. I enjoyed this game. Apparently the entire fan base fucking hates it. But I got this when I think I was playing a bunch of Tomb Raider and Jet Set and shit, and I just needed something that played normally. Like, this game isn't perfect. It's kind of shallow, and a lot of the fighting is just like, I smack you with my stick until you die, but the bar was low, man. It was so fucking low. I was grading on a curve, but man, Kane passes the curve. Tomb Raider 2 is also frustrating. I don't think it was better than the first game. It was like marginally more interesting, but like, oh, I still had a bad time with it. RoboCop is a new favorite. I actually enjoyed the shit out of this game. Propaganda aside, I really had a ton of fun with it. There's a DLC that I'll probably play, Unfinished Business, which is funny for me particularly, but I had a fucking blast with this. Dark Forces 1, fun but flawed. I'm not good at boomer shooters, and I really suffered. I'm glad I was able to figure out how to use mouse look to aim, because otherwise it would have been a complete nightmare, but it was a good time. I just like, I don't know, man. I'm bad at games that are like Doom. Like, I don't know what else to tell you. Painkiller Black Edition. I don't know where to put this. I had fun with it. It is a boomer shooter. It was also easier to get to run. Actually, I want to put this in great time for a couple reasons. One, the needlessly edgy protagonist was a lot of fun for me because, I don't know, man, playing as Mad Max mixed with Shadow the Hedgehog is just a little funny to me. I am a simple man of simple pleasures, what can I say? I also really liked Battle Out of Hell, the music for Battle Out of Hell, and just like the cool set pieces. I really enjoyed the fuck out of it, so it's gonna get a boost from that. Also, I really enjoyed it. When I played again, I don't know. But I did play it, and I did enjoy it. Let's do another Tomb Raider. 3, I think, goes in fun but flawed, because it leaned most into being a puzzle game. I think the games would have really benefited from going in that direction more. They didn't, obviously. We're about to see that, but it was one of the ones I had a better time with the original, very tank-style controls. Let's do some of the Thief games. Thief 1, The Dark Prophecy is a great time. I enjoy the fuck out of this game. It's specifically built for people with my particularly unstable brain chemistry, where we prefer stealth to just like shooting everyone in the face, I realize. But if that's even remotely interesting to you, then I have some great news. There's games that don't get sequels anymore. Actually, no, the VR game came out. I don't have a VR headset, but I guess I gotta play that at some point just for completion purposes, if nothing else. But no, it was really good. Where do I put Jedi Knight 2? No, I'm sorry. This is Star Wars Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, because these games were named by a fucking demon. I think it still stays in fun but flawed. I had more fun with this. It feels much more realized of a project, but it's not terrible. I'm gonna pop over and grab Tomb Raider 4. This is frustrating. I hated this game. It was too long. It was too annoying. The hub world was a fucking... it was a pain. It's gonna be hard to find interesting things to say about these games because they're all bad in the same ways. They control like dog shit. They're designed terribly, and I had a bad time with them. Like, I don't know. I'm not fucking... I was about to say Nostradamus, but that's not the person I'm looking for. I'm not Shakespeare. That's the boy. That's the guy that made up words. He just, like, hallucinated shit into existence. I'm not that guy. So, like, I can't do that necessarily. But these are just bad, dog. Like, I'm glad the remakes came out, and apparently they're better, but that bar was in fucking hell. Speaking of hell, Breath of Death. This is great. It's hard to put it in fun but flawed because it is exactly what it wants to be and nothing else. And I can really respect that because projects like this, or even like shit that I do, it's really easy to have like scope creep, to like really let something balloon out to more than it needs to be. And Breath of Death is not that. It's just like, hey, here's a game that's 5 minutes long. Fuck you. I had a great time. Thief 2 is a new favorite. I was shocked how much better Thief 2 is than Thief 1, a game I already enjoyed. And like, they have the old game shit of like, I have to use fan patches and finagle them to get them to work on like modern hardware and also modern control schemes, because some of them are designed by crazy people, but it's great. Thief 2 is the best one. It was a fucking amazing time. I'm torn because I think at some point here soon I'm going to end up playing the Thief reboot again, and seeing all the lore that these games built that the other game just shoved in a trash can, it sucks. It really sucks. Speaking of things that sucked, Tomb Raider Chronicles is death first. I would rather die than play this game again. It didn't work. It was frequently buggy and bullshit, and the last level was a complete travesty that was really difficult and would crash if you saved in the wrong place. None of these games feel like they were designed particularly well, except for 3 of these, like 5 I've talked about so far. But this one especially feels like it's just like, not even the B-sides, like the C-sides, like the cut material that you cut from the cut material. It is like bottom of the barrel. The only thing this game does right is that the entire time it tries to make you really believe that Lara Croft is dead. I mean, you don't, obviously, because you're not a fucking, 4 IQ monkey-brained rube, but they want you to think that, and that's really funny, and I wish it was true. Mysteries of the Sith... It's weird that how many... I'm putting in fun but flawed. It's weird how many of these games are going to end up here, despite me actually falling in love with Kyle Katarn, his arc, and even like getting to love the games more, but I don't think they're as good as the others. As they slowly kind of evolve into this like third-person action game from this like just straight-up Doom boomer shooter, Mysteries of the Sith is interesting because it's very plot relevant. It explains a lot of things that are happening, but it's also like a little too big for its britches, and it suffers from that. And I think that's okay. Like, it's not the worst thing in the world to, I don't know, shoot for the moon. I kind of respect that. Speaking of shooting for the moon, Deus Ex. This is a game I actually don't know where I want to put it. It's in the high half, but I don't know where. Because, like, I was like, great time. I really enjoyed it, specifically when I was restricted from playing my non-lethal stealth style. If I had done that, I think this would have fallen a few spots because that shit just doesn't work. But as it is, it's very good. There's a lot of shit going on, a lot of cool shit happens, and like, I don't know, you're fighting robots and shit, man. It's cool. I would recommend this. There's the joke that every time this game is mentioned that somebody reinstalls it. I was that guy, and then eventually Mal got me to actually engage with it in a way that wasn't mine, in a way that was out of my comfort zone, and that really unlocked the game for me, and I think that's fucking sick. And that's part of the reason why this project was so fun, because a lot of these games I wouldn't have touched, and some of them I wish I still hadn't, but you know, it is what it is. Speaking of games I wish I hadn't touched, Angel of Darkness. I think it goes in death first just for Kurt alone. Like, Kurt puts this in death first. He's like I call him Dark Shaggy, and I stand by that. He looks like a nu metal band's ejected singer for being too racist or something. That seems like it's a little extreme, but you get my point. He like doesn't really explain what his deal is until the end. He's like needlessly shitty and annoying, and you have to play as him for a genuinely hard boss fight where he sucks balls. There's some cool stuff in Angel of Darkness, but none of it feels like a fully realized idea. And that kind of is painful for me, because it doesn't need to be like that. Like, he could have just made a full game, but whatever. It's going in death first. Fuck this game. It might not be as mechanically bad as the games above it and frustrating, but there's so many other bad choices that piss me off that I'm putting it down here. Fuck you. What about Monaco? I had a great time with Monaco, I'll be honest. Even outside of the multiplayer stuff, that was pure chaos and was actually a blast to just chill with homies and do dumb shit and almost get us all killed. I liked the very methodical gameplay that it rewarded, because that's how I like to play games like that. Games like Hitman and Dishonored, where I can be fast in bursts, but I'm generally very slow, and I'm taking knowledge over speed. Now, some of the things I didn't have to do that with, I just bum rushed them, but I enjoyed the fuck out of this game. It's a heist movie. It's a playable heist movie, and that fucking rules. Alright, let's do some more Lara Croft. I still have so much Lara in here, I need to start getting rid of her. Legends is actually pretty fun. Once this next trilogy comes out, they start actually being games I enjoy, which was insane. Like, I had waded through 6 games that were variable from acceptable to put a bullet in me, and for this game to be like genuinely fun, like hit me like a train. I enjoyed the fuck out of Legend. Is it a perfect game? No. Is it very long? No. Doesn't overstay its welcome though, and it does lean a lot into the magical bullshit that's happening like all the time. Like, Lara Croft lives in a world where magic is objectively real, and it's just true. Like, what the fuck? Moonring. I don't know where to put Moonring, I'll be honest, because there are parts of it that were really frustrating. The legacy dungeons in particular were really hard because they're old style games, so they're pretty brutal. I had to give up on my entire build the way I wanted to do it to play the game the way it's meant to be played. So that was a little wild, just like having that level of suffering that inflicted upon it. But at the same time, it was really fun. I don't want to keep putting things in fun but flawed, but like literally Moonring is a fun game that had old school mechanics that were faithful to what it wanted to be, that I myself struggled with and had a hard time getting over. That being said, I would still recommend it, and I think about the game quite a bit. The typing to talk to people, awesome. I'm sure it's been done before. I'm sure fucking it'll be done since, but that was really cool to be able to not only just branch the conversations in ways that I wanted, but also having the word cloud. It's fun. It's a really cool idea, and there's a lot of cool shit in this game. Another one that doesn't overstay its welcome, which I respect. Let's do Jedi Outcast, Jedi Knight 2. This one I think was really fun. I enjoyed the fuck out of this. Kyle Katarn is a fun character, and seeing him kind of try to reclaim that as it finally evolves into this third-person action game was really cool. Kyle has a lot of fun scenes. There's a lot of like challenging sections. There's a lot of like interesting sections. It's fun. Like, the fact that he's not canon didn't used to piss me off. I heard people talk about it, like, why isn't this guy canon? I'm like, who gives a shit? Your Glorp Shitto is just some guy. But having played these games now, I'm like, damn, they were right. They were right all along. So I guess I'm not going to hedge. I'm going to put Academy in new favorite. This game was a fucking blast. I wish we got another one. Just all the different mission styles and the customizable character, and just... I will say, though, if they ever remake this game, make the Rhodians sound like Rhodians. It was so weird to hear my Rhodian named Jaden speak American English. That was fucking bizarre. I hated that, actually. I picked the guy with the beatboard mouth so he'd make weird noises, not because I wanted him to be, fucking donut steal, you know what I mean? Fucking, come on. Let's finish out Tomb Raider, I guess, because these games, like, I think I got some thoughts on. Anniversary, I think, is frustrating. It's got the mechanics of Legends, but it suffers from being a remake of 1, a game that sucks balls. Sorry if you like 1, but it's not good. It's just like, it's this game, but it's less like I want to shoot myself, but it's still this game. So, like, sorry. Underworld is, I think, the best. I would actually go as far as put them in great time. I had a fucking blast with Underworld. Just fully leaning into the magic, tying back to Anniversary and to Legends. Like, it's like a culmination of this trilogy. It's actually genuinely fun. I wish I got to play the DLC, where you have to be the magical clone of Lara Croft who just fucks up Natalia really badly. That's cool. There's a lot of cool shit in this game. It's fun mechanically, and it has a story that I both paid attention to and actually liked, which is like, look at how fucking low these games tend to rate, you know what I mean? Guardian of Light is weird. I guess I'd put it here? It's weird because it's a game I don't have a lot of love or animosity for. It's just a fucking twin stick shooter. It's not rocket science. But like, it's not frustrating either. Like, I wouldn't drop it to frustrating because it is what it is, but I wouldn't put it in great time because it's not greater than what it is either. I mean, there's mechanics and stuff, and there's got to be some co-op shit, but like, it's a fucking twin stick shooter. If you give a shit about that kind of thing, you know what you like. Jet Set Radio is going in death first. I know a lot of people love this game. I got some shit from friends about this opinion, but honestly, fuck this game. Maybe it was the having 100% of the achievements. Maybe it was just that the mechanics were not as tight as people think they are. But I had a bad time with Jet Set Radio. And I don't know if this is true, but it's possible. Someone floated to me that they thought they might have put Jet Set Radio Future in the extended edition of Year of Mel. And now I just have that potential bullet in the chamber, and I'm not a really big fan of that. Fuck you for doing that. You know who you are. But to the game itself, it asks of you a mechanical consistency that it itself cannot help you deliver. And I think personally that's unacceptable. If you want me to have super tight, super quick execution, you have to let me do that within your system, or like, what the fuck are we doing even, you know? Bringing back all the rage. I'm surprised by how much I actually didn't like it. I thought it was going to be like a fun time, but it's just, dog, it's a game a lot of other people have nostalgia for, which is like the only reason I'm hedging, because if it wasn't, I'd be saying it was bad just straight out. The music's good. I'll give it the music. The rest of it, fucking c'est la vie, bitch. Deadly Shadows, I think, goes in frustrating. It's like sharp how much worse it is than 2. It's hard to match 2. 2 is an excellent game. It's very well built. It's very well thought out, I guess I would say. But Deadly Shadows suffers from moving to a different engine and adding a bunch of shit that they didn't know how to handle. Guards chasing you forever in the hub world is so fucking annoying. The hub world stuff is like annoying or not, like fucking whatever. It's got some good stuff, it's got some bad stuff. It's an early open world in this kind of game, but the biggest issue is that the levels are not as tight or as good, and the mechanics aren't either. Specifically the blackjack, which I used a ton in all 3 of these games, just didn't work sometimes, and like fucking no range. Like, I realize it's a stick in your hand, right? But like, it should go to the end of your reach. Am I crazy? Am I fucking insane? No. It's bonk stick. It's shabonk. This is shockingly even, actually. I thought this was going to be a lot lower on the bottom, but I had a pretty decent time. Pillars is hard because me, Bep the person, had a difficult time with Pillars. The late game death of Jason, which really fucked my shit up. The long period of time it took me to play it and edit it, and the time crunch I put myself under. In a lot of these games, the achievements didn't actually affect me. Only a few of them had them. Pillars having them really turned the game upside down on me, because I really enjoy it. I do. I think the world is cool. May or may not play Deadfire at some point. I don't know. Having to do that, I think, kind of robbed the world of some of its color. especially the solo run, because a lot of the fun parts were interacting with your party members and seeing how they reacted, but like, I couldn't talk to them. I couldn't speak a word to them, you know? Like, it's incredibly difficult to have that rich of a world that you have to interact with gloves on. And I think that kind of robbed it of some of its magic for me. It's hard because so much of it is overshadowed by the ultimate, by how grindy of an experience that was, just fucking spiritually. But at the same time, I did that to myself. The game didn't make me do that. It just encouraged me to by, you know, loading the revolver and putting it in my hand. But I'm debating to myself whether I want to weigh the ultimate run or the initial run more, because one of them was much more difficult, but one of them was also much more important, I think, to me understanding how the game worked and how it functioned. And it was a long, difficult project to make too, so I think part of that's coloring it for me. I can't put it in new favorite. I can't put it in frustrating because that's not accurate to my entire experience. I think I'm going to put it in great time, actually. I'm a little surprised by how top-heavy it is. I think it's like part of it is because I remember so many Tomb Raiders in a row that were frustrating and bad, and just like this fall off here with Dark Shadows, Deadly Shadows. This feels right. Actually, I'm going to sort the tiers. I think bottom tier looks like this. Chronicles is definitely the worst because it is both dog shit and a terrible piece of software. Of these, I think it goes... No, that's definitely not the worst. I think it goes like this. 1 and 2 here are kind of interchangeable. 4 is definitely the worst of this tier. Anniversary is the best. It suffers from being this game, but with better mechanics, so that is what it is. This one is a little complicated. I would say Jedi Knight goes up, Moon Ring goes up, Dark Forces probably goes down. I think it looks like this. Legends is really good. If it was more refined, I think it would have been pushed in a great time. Jedi Knight. Okay. Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2. I fucking hate this series. Alright, I want to bitch about this for a second because this is probably the last time I'm going to talk about these games on this platform. So it's Dark Forces, Jedi Knight Dark Forces 2, Jedi Outcast Jedi Knight 2, and Jedi Knight Jedi Academy. Not a single one of these fucking games has the same structure for how they're titled. What the fuck? Kill yourself. Don't do that. That's... legally, I can't encourage you to do that, but why? I think Dark Forces is the weakest. Blood Omen's not great. Guardian of Light is fine, but I wouldn't play it again. And these guys kind of fight it out. For this... Thief definitely goes high. Collision's up mid here. I think it kind of looks like this. Thief, Jedi, and the best Lara Croft game. Pillars. Is Pillars worse than this? I don't actually think it is. I think I'm going to move Pillars up. These kind of 4 are whatever. They're in a decently fine order, I guess I'll put it. It doesn't bother me too much if any of the guys shifted around. These 3 are going to be kind of hard. I think it's Thief 2, RoboCop, and then Jedi Academy. This, at this point, is arbitrary. All of these games are awesome. I'd play them again. Like, these are the best games that I think I played. I enjoyed a lot of these. I suffered through some of them, and I enjoyed some of them too. But this is, I think, a decent capstone for the original Year of Mal. I'm not done with this yet, obviously. I have the extended version, which I might split off from this just to make this the capstone of that. But, yeah, these are a truncated version of my thoughts and feelings, because a tier list is like, what if I crumbled all of my emotions into a small ball and spiked them into a hoop for your entertainment? But realistically, it's just a easier way to understand how things stand. I guess my biggest point would be play more games that you think you might have fun with, even if they're not necessarily the best things in the world. That's my lesson for today. I needed something kind of easier after the fucking Nier video about rip my spine out of my fucking skull. So that didn't make any sense. Fuck you. Whatever. I'm tired. Hey, my name is Beb. Go fuck yourself. I'm not putting that in. I'm not putting that in there. I'll see you when I see you. Later.